There we go. All right, and I'm going to share my screen here, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and mute the line. So again, we'll hold questions until the end. We're going to go ahead and get started. And okay. All right, and I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Okay, so Lucas, can you go ahead and unmute your line for just a moment?
Yeah,
Let
I
me
can
know
see the screen.
that. Okay, and you can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. And again, my apologies with the late start and all the technical issues and everything else aside. We'll still kind of, be able to get this call in and completed over the next 30 to 40 minutes, I would imagine. And then again, as I said, everyone's line is muted now. What I'll do is run through the information, a recap of the information while I'm recording this so I can get this out to others that were not able to be on the call tonight. And then when I'm done, I could wrap up the recording or stop the recording and then take any questions anybody may have. So with that, we're going to dive right in. So the iHub Global Las Vegas official launch events recap. So for most of you who know, maybe if you don't, last Saturday, iHub Global officially launched their company. As you know, we kind of soft launched, beta launched from the beginning of the year through and up until Saturday. And then Saturday was the official corporate launch. There were 250 people that were VIP invites to the official launch ceremony live at Eric Worre Studios in Las Vegas. My wife Tina and I were among those 250. We were blessed to have the opportunity to attend. It was last minute that we had that opportunity. And let me just take care of this waiting room here just a moment. Okay. And good. All right. And so we had the opportunity to be there live, which was very exciting. And then, of course, there were thousands from around the world that were plugged in as well. And Lucas, if you could just let me know that you see that screen and hear me again as I had to break away and let somebody into the call. And that would be great. And fantastic. Okay, so then again, getting started here, what came out of that event? So guys, I could tell you that I have not been excited to the extent that I am right now on anything that I've ever been a part of in an entrepreneurial sense, since starting my practice and venturing into different things that I've been doing over the last 15 years or so. What they are doing is truly remarkable. It is a window. We've got about a 3 to 5 year window, in my opinion, really only about a 1 to 2 year window in the US. And we'll talk about that, but a 3 to 5 year window globally to take advantage of something that's really, once in a lifetime opportunity to stake your claim, to stake your real estate into building out this IoT network before the network is completed in terms of its build out. That'll amount to about 3 to 5 million hotspots in the US to saturate or fully cover the US, and upwards of over 10 million devices worldwide. But things are happening very, very quickly. So all of us should have received that are already affiliates. And I believe for the purpose of this call, everyone on the call is an affiliate already. All of us should have received an email from corporate coming off of the event. They released the email that evening of November the 6th, last Saturday. So if you haven't seen, you want to go in and your inbox and find that email. If it ended up in your trash bin, or maybe in the not in your direct inbox, you want to go look for it in the spam folder if it didn't come to you. But you'll want to find that email. It looks something like this, and it's basically the iHub event recap and access links. And so what's important about this is the access link. You see there, the blue one on the right there, access to your new iHub back office. So we have launched as of Saturday Helium Track 2.0. Everything is single sign-on now. Everything can be accessed. What was in 3 different spots before is now all basically accessible under one window. And so the Helium track has a new feel and look to it. And again, that link from that email will take you directly in there. And there's 2 things you're going to be able to do right now that are time sensitive. And that was the purpose of this call tonight. So number 1 is you're going to be able to lock in your hotspot on the actual deployment board, should you choose to do so, and be among the first tens of thousands that are going to receive their devices in January. And we'll talk more about that. But the deadline to do that is a week from today on the 18th. So next Thursday, the 18th, to be able to receive your device in January. We'll talk more about it in a moment. And then the second thing is you could register to basically get your CoinZoom set up. We'll talk about what that is. And those that register are going to be put into a drawing to earn the opportunity to earn thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency. So kind of jumping right into this, again, the event was in Las Vegas. It was all day Saturday. We also had a special team dinner Friday nights, and very, very exciting time. Saturday, of course, the event was at the Worry Studios outside of the Strip there in Las Vegas. $25 million studio, just incredible. If some of you know who Eric Worre is, he's basically now he's probably the godfather of affiliate marketing, network marketing, written the #1 selling network marketing book of all time in that genre. And so he spent about $25 million building out this studio, which is just phenomenal. It allowed, you can see all the different people there on the screens, all those people to be joining in remotely from all over the world. And you really just kind of sense that they were with you there as those screens were just kind of surrounding you with all these images of people remotely watching that could in real time access with a Q&A session. And then, of course, those of us in studio. I had hoped to get a couple of different things out of this venue, just being thankful to have the opportunity to go, but mainly as it was the opening grand launch event, the initial launch event of iHub.global, and held to 250 people. You'll never have that opportunity again to be in a room with these people in a launch event or any kind of annual event or a national event where it's just 250 of you. And so what my goal was to get a chance to meet the CEO, meet the COO, meet the top leaders within the organization, so that if there's an issue within Team Epic, within our team, with iHub, if there's an issue with deployment, there's a question, if there's anything that needs to transpire with any of us on our team, I've got direct access. I've got phone numbers, I've got contact where I can get a hold of the leaders at the top and help the team out in any way, shape, or form. And so I was able to do that absolutely in spades. And then it was my hope that there might be just the slight chance that I might be able to win a hotspot. One of the few, I think there were about 10 or so that they raffled off. The problem is I never win anything. The last thing I won was I was 7, and it was at a Cub Scout meeting, and I won a fruitcake. And second place was 2 fruitcakes, if you know anything about fruitcake, right? So that's the last time I've ever won anything. But my wife wins everything, and so I brought her with me. And lo and behold, you can see there her name came up on the raffle board, and Tina was among the few that was able to go up and win a Nebra outdoor hotspot miner. So super, super exciting. We're going to be mounting that thing on Saturday. We're mining helium as early as the end of the weekend. So I'm really very happy about that. I'll be able to share firsthand some of the results that we're getting as we're waiting for units that'll be coming for some of us in December, and then all of us have a chance at theirs in January. So over there on the left, you can see that's the CEO of the company, Rick Cotton. Had a chance to be able to meet him. The chief marketing officer, or the CMO of the company, is also pictured there, and had the chance to meet him as well. And he was basically the MC of the events. And of course, that's Chuck Hansen. And then just some of the other leaders. Just a great time, great opportunity. we're actually officially known as in the iHub.global team of team monsters. And so that's from the top down. I didn't pick the name, but the leaders, John Cini and some of the others that are pictured here, that's the name of the group. They're about 80,000 strong, if you can believe it, just in 2.5 months that they've built out to a team of 80,000 people. And so had the chance to meet some of the leaders within Team Monsters that are, again, VIP affiliates and have direct access to corporate. So just to kind of rehash a couple of things, this isn't a presentation tonight, but just a couple of points to point out before we jump right into the announcements. Again, our team, that slide's old. It's now over 80,000 members just in several months and growing. And then, Helium and where we're going as a company and what we can be a part of. Obviously, iHub is the marketing arm of the Helium ecosystem. And, what do Google, Nestle, Salesforce, and Lime Scooters or Lime Bike have in common? And, the answer is they all are a part of the Helium network. And so in the case of Google Ventures, they are one of the main one of the main venture capital firms that basically are pouring millions of dollars into this Helium blockchain and Helium network that's being built out. Dish Network just came on as a partner just within the last month. All kinds of amazing companies are a part of what the Helium network is doing and becoming. And, if you can imagine in the 80s, you had the chance to really kind of install one of those cell towers that were going up at the time. The phone was the size of a brick and you had to strap it onto your back. But if you had the vision and you let them put a cell tower or two on your property and, had the chance to get paid on all that data transmitted over them, as well as the leasing rights, pretty exciting for those that had that chance. Well, this is similar, and this is kind of what Helium is giving us the opportunity to do today. We're building the People's Network, which is the world's fastest growing wireless private data transmission network ever, and first to market and fastest growing, and much more security than a traditional cellular network, and at a fraction of the cost. And so how many hotspots are out there? And again, this is incredible. You can really kind of grasp what's going on here. Over 200,000 hotspots are deployed and make up the network worldwide today. When our leaders of our team just got going 4 months ago, mid-May, now about 6 months ago, there were just over 38,000 hotspots on the worldwide network. And so, Helium as a project was really kind of came to be in 2013. And it wasn't until from 2013 to 2019 that the ecosystem really kind of flipped the switch and went live. The coin went public and the network started transmitting data. And so from August of 2019, when they flipped the switch, to May of this year, almost 2 years, they had only put 38,000 hotspots around the world. And then, fast forward now to today, from the mid-May calendar through September 27, 4.5 months, they added 164,000 hotspots in that 4.5 month span. And they're adding about 50,000 a month now. Soon that'll be 60,000, 100,000. So if you could catch this, you can see what's happening. And things are really, really getting astronomically crazy. And so, excuse me just a moment, I got an Amber Alert going off. So we're going to show you how, and we're getting the opportunity to get a piece of what is becoming, and already is, the world's largest wireless network of things. And so much so that even despite all that, 95% of the people really around the world have no idea what it is. And so, we get the opportunity to really kind of take something, an ecosystem that's baked in. Some of us on this call are, taking the opportunity to mine a coin that is a penny stock, if you will, and they're building an ecosystem around that, and in the hopes that someday it's going to have, and I believe it will, but at some point it'll have a value, and so a little bit more of a gamble, so to speak, but a very high risk to reward ratio if and when that coin does come to fruition. But in this case, with Helium, we've got an ecosystem that is 9 years, 8-9 years in the making, and having said all of that, it is baked in. The ecosystem is baked in. It is a top coin. It is a top project around the world. It is going to revolutionize the way internet works, and it already is doing that. And let me just bounce these two people into the let me add these two individuals, and we'll jump back in. Okay, so we've got an ecosystem that's baked in. We've got an ecosystem that's already among one of the top coins in terms of market cap in the world, a top 60 coin, very, very exciting. And yet we're ground floor in that the network distribution model, or the distribution company involved with this, that has really kind of taken and leapfrogged into the jump seat, if you will, of distributing these boxes all over the world. They just launched this year. And then the hard launch was just last Saturday. So we really get the best of both worlds. Normally, you have to pick or choose. You pick a project that's ground floor, may or may not take off, but you get the chance to be there early. Or you pick something that's established, but a lot of what the opportunity was or is has already transpired. So in this case, we get the best of both worlds, because we've got a baked-in technological ecosystem that is absolutely incredible, and yet we're ground floor in terms of being able to participate in this distribution model. So and it really is really more analogous to buying real estate than cryptocurrency. I mean, that's so true, in that it's a race to get these devices positioned before there's no more real estate left. And so over the next 2, maybe 3 years max, certainly in North America, and 3 to 5 years worldwide, we have a chance to stake as much claim of that market or real estate within the network as possible. And so the venture capital behind Helium, guys, so this is a veritable who's who. We already mentioned Google Ventures, Mark Bainoff, all those companies you see on the left are, again, a veritable who's who in the venture capital space. And, not everybody has a 100% track record in picking the winners, but let's look on the right side there at some of the companies these guys have backed over the years. So there's that little company called Facebook, Airbnb, Uber, Twitter, Salesforce, DoorDash. So, they were right about these companies, and they are pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into the Helium blockchain to bring about massive change and development. And so we're seeing that reflected in price. Guys, if you've been following the price of Helium, it is exciting. And we had a nice jump over the weekend because of the launch of iHub.global, and we actually surpassed the $50 mark, and it's just absolutely exciting. So just kind of IoT, jumping into some of the things that were discussed during the event here. IoT, as you know, Internet of Things. We had 2 of the companies that have just partnered with iHub.global, and they had spokespersons there at the event. They are Oxit and BH Group. And so those 2 companies have partnered with iHub. They basically are bringing a wealth of different IoT solutions to the network. And together, they are going to drive new resources of IoT revenue for iHub.global, packaging together and putting together different sensors and products that will be available, that not only will be available just in general to run on the IoT network, but also through the iHub.global marketplace that's launching in December. These products will be able to be purchased for those that may want them. But today they mentioned something that was really key. They said, to date, there's only a couple thousand resellers worldwide in the IoT space that are selling devices around the world. So iHub adding 1 million sales affiliates to that sales force is a huge development. And so, we can't overstate that. And so just kind of to, backtrack a moment, what is IoT? What is the Internet of Things? I thought they did a good job of kind of wrapping this up for us to understand. It's, they're really devices or sensors that connect and exchange data over the Internet. And Helium is nothing more than the carrier, the first and biggest carrier or network using this LoRaWAN technology. LoRaWAN technology, what is that? It's long range Wi-Fi, if you will. So not Wi-Fi that extends a certain number of meters, but long Fi that is at a different, really low frequency and long range frequency that it can extend for kilometers or miles. And so that is the Helium network. And what these sensors do and the data that they kind of transfer along the network, they used a good analogy. It's the if-then analogy. So the if-then principle. If something happens, then this is the reaction or the response. Devices that record that kind of if-then scenario are devices that primarily can populate the IoT network today. And so if someone walks in front of the security camera in front of my front door, ring, for example, right? The doorbell. Then what? Then an alert is triggered on your phone. Okay. And so, we have the blink system in our home. So if somebody walks in front of our motion sensors, then what? Then we get an alert to our phone. Well, that's IoT. And many companies are coming over into IoT because they could utilize their technology, their sensors, their devices, and run on a network that is not only more secure, but is a fraction of the cost. And so basically it kind of dictates having a gateway, so a Helium gateway, and then some sensors. And so they had several products that they mentioned that are going to be coming out next month. And they're tailored towards basically the home, a restaurant, or any kind of a small retail store or office. And so what's neat about this is, again, we can be a free affiliate in iHub, and we don't necessarily have to purchase any products, but the products are going to be available for many to purchase. And what's great about that is it's going to allow more people to use IoT, more people to use the Helium network. And as those data points are running over the IoT network, that's additional mining revenue that those of us that have hotspots are going to be able to earn from. And so as it says there, we earn Helium today when we have a hotspot that's communicating with other hotspots or gateway to gateway, and they're witnessing. Witnessing is the term that they're pinging off one another to establish proof of coverage. And as that is done, Helium gets rewarded. And of course, that Helium, as it's rewarded, is great because as we earn that, that it's got a just enormous potential, and it's already, got a great value to it. But with these sensors added to the network, for example, not only are we going to be earning off of our devices communicating with other devices through witnessing, but we're going to be able to earn off of data that's running through those devices. And so if a restaurant has a hotspot and they need to control the temperature or know what's going on with the temperature of their refrigeration, know who's coming in and out of the restaurant through the doors, be able to have sensors for air quality, leak detection, motion detection. Well, they can get a system out, a system right in the box, order it, set it up. These devices are, just with a QR code set up, it's self-set up, easy install. and have it, notify them if their refrigeration stops. The average restaurant has maybe about $10,000 worth of food in it, and the refrigeration system. And so if the refrigerator goes down, that could be an enormous problem for a restaurant cost wise. And so they can have a sensor that will tell them that temperature has dropped precipitously outside of a range that would be healthy for that food, and that can alert their phone. They can then respond to that. And so there's value in these types of systems, in particular to homes, restaurants, or businesses. But what's interesting to note is that restaurant owner, maybe he's a hotspot owner and he's got a hotspot gateway. Well, he's not only mining helium through the witnessing with other devices, but he's earning off of his sensors. So he's mining and earning helium from the sensors that are deployed in his restaurant that he would want to have anyway. It's a pretty unique concept. And so kind of moving along, they had some great keynote speakers, guys, Ray Higdon, Fraser Brooks, Eric Borg. We're not going to spend any time on this, but if they have a recorded version of this event, I would strongly encourage you guys to, access that recording as it's released and take a listen to what these guys brought in terms of delivering, really, really great content to help us be successful in business. And then, of course, too, really excited about the relationship with Viva Kids. Mr. Cotton, the CEO of the company, came out of the mission field. He was a missionary for 10 years and, very successful in business following his missionary work, and he has a heart for kids. And so he was instrumental in forming this organization. The two directors that partner with iHub and liaison with the kids were on site, and they spoke with us. And they talked about different things that we have the opportunity to do: sponsorship, you want to sponsor a child, vacations with a purpose, where you stay at a 5-star resort, but then we also spend some time in these lesser developed regions of the world, Dominican Republic, places like that, where we are doing various projects and things of that nature. So that's a passion for me, missions. And so this is just a connection that was really awesome to see, and something that, the culture of the company is very strong and takes very seriously. And so that was super, super exciting. We're going to have some updated information as again, we finish up here that we're going to be talking about tonight. One of the things I want to do is show a quick 3-minute video that has been updated in our replicated sites now for our website that kind of reflects some of the changes here that have happened. And so I'm going to see if I can get this to play for us. And let me go ahead and click on it here and bring it up.
The news is headlined by disruptive technologies that are rapidly transforming the world. Terms like blockchain, cryptocurrency mining, and digital transformation dominate the financial and technology news. But so do less pleasant things like COVID, tariffs, supply chain crisis, the rising cost of fuel, travel, unemployment, and social unrest. There's no denying the world is a vastly different place than it was just a couple of years ago. But innovation and crisis often spur disruption and unique opportunity. We see it with the exponential growth of the Internet of Things, the connecting of everyday devices. Items like automobiles, health monitoring devices, package tracking, scooters, even simple security devices. IoT data access from traditional providers, like the cell phone companies, is just too expensive. And that's where we come in, and where you can too. With iHub.global, you have the opportunity to be a part of that solution where you live. A small device in your home or business can make you a part of this new distributed infrastructure. While people and things use our grid, our iHub hotspots enable you to become a provider for this new decentralized network. You'll get your own crypto wallet when you plug our device in. There's no catch. We need you to help us build a network that will positively change the entire world. We all know that businesses, education, and even healthcare are being forced by safety protocols, convenience, and even new laws to an online model. Many people think we'll return to normal in a year or so. We don't agree. When the world settles into new ways of doing things, the infrastructure must and will change with it. An equally disruptive technology is needed. In our decentralized infrastructure, iHub.global is part of the people's network and is positioned to be the right solution at the right time for this digital transformation. The network is the architecture for the Internet of Things, but it's also solving problems that real people face. Through our iHub marketplace, we're introducing telehealth, a timely solution for healthcare, including mental health, that aligns with the direction many healthcare practices already mandate. Using our IoT technology, we can offer cutting-edge healthcare solutions. We're also launching a cost-effective way for people to travel, as well as financial services. And we're just getting started, but we need people who get it. People who want to be a part of initiating a positive revolution. People who see the opportunity. Most of us are sick and tired of living in a model pioneered in the 1950s. And so, one of our missions is helping folks to fully embrace the desire for more balanced lives by enabling them to be a part of the connective tissue of this new world paradigm shift. In our model, there is no replacement for you. No cell towers, server farms, or social networks. Plug in to the iHub community, a people's network for the real world, and position yourself at the hub of a global digital transformation.
All right. So I hope you guys were able to hear that okay. That's some of the newer products we'll talk about in just a moment, which again are optional and centered around, for the most part, IoT, or helping us get more benefits to being affiliates or helping us with our business. So we're going to talk about some of the deployment board provisioning that came out from the event, and some of the ways that we can go about and obtain our devices, and a couple of the tweaks that they had to make in the way that they were provisioning. And so we've modified the deployment plan, and I'm going to get into the specifics of why and how in just a moment. And so we've got really two options now to be able to acquire hotspots. And the first of those is through a lease, and then the second one is and I put it in quotes because it was never really free, but free with deposit option. And I'll get into all this in just a moment. But Jeremy Jenkins kind of summarized it well with a post the other day. With our previous model that we came in with the idea of having, initially there was a $500 or $600 per hotspot model for the first few months when the initial deployments were going out during beta, and then they came up with an idea for what we were considering free, but that free model, as most of you know, would have a $50, we figured $49.99 shipping charge, and it came with just the stock antenna. The stock antenna is, I think it's a 1 or a 2 dBi antenna, and it just really didn't mine a whole lot of helium. So with an upgraded antenna, either a 5 or an 8 dBi antenna, you quadruple your helium output. So it was recommended that people would pay the $50 in shipping to have the device shipped when it was ready to be provisioned and shipped. And then there would have been a $25 activation to activate the device to the address once you received it. And then, of course, you had just the stock antenna. And so most people were then going out and spending anywhere from $75 to $100, depending upon where you got the antenna, to get an upgraded antenna to be able to truly mine a quadrupled amount of helium. So, the new lease model does a couple of different things, and it actually works out to be a better deal, and for a lot of reasons. We'll kind of talk about that. But now for $99 down, you can lock in the deployment of. You've already reserved your hotspot and your location, but you can lock in your deployment on the board for when it's coming. And so we actually have plenty of spots available still to receive your hotspot in January. But $99 down on the lease model, and then $18 a month. And then that refundable after 36 months actually applies to the other option I'm going to get to in a moment. But what's neat about this is that it includes the shipping, and it includes the $100 upgraded antenna. You could select either a 5 or an 8 dBi antenna. and it also includes the activation. So basically what we were going to have to do before, which was, pay for the shipping, pay activation, and then to really get serious about mining a good amount of helium, pay anywhere from $75 to $100 to upgrade the antenna. So, you're talking about $150 on the previous model. Now you have all that for $99. So $99 is going to get that antenna upgrade to you. It's going to, no longer have to purchase an upgraded antenna, and it's going to include the activation as well. So it works out really, really well. And there's a reason behind the change of this model, which I'll get to in the next slide. But the other option, in addition to lease, is the free with deposit. And the way that works, it's $99 down. Again, same idea. That's going to lock you into deployment for the particular month that you lock in on, and that's going to include the shipping and the activation and the upgraded antenna. That's going to activate your affiliate position from inactive to active. But then on top of that, when the model is ready to ship in your particular month of shipment and they're ready to send it to you, once it's deployed and shipped, then you will send in a $400 deposit, and that deposit will hold the model for you in lieu of the $18 monthly. And so what will happen then is, in the completion of the 36-month term, the deposit's then refunded to you. So it's a refundable 36-month deposit. And so those are the two options. You could lease and then $18 a month, or you can hold and lock in your position for $99 with your hotspot coming in as early as January with a deposit that's refunded after 36 months. And so let's kind of talk about the why and how we got from where we are to where we are now. And so basically, one of the main things that was announced, and they came to the realization that the best way to deploy these devices is to make sure that people are going to have skin in the game. And there was a reason behind that, based upon the behavior of people that they were observing earlier in the year, and an additional company, a competing company, if you will, and what happened with them. And so really what this is going to do is kind of reduce the likelihood of people, selling them, trying to reprovision and sell them on eBay. Right now, these hotspots are selling for thousands of dollars on eBay because of the chip shortage going on worldwide and the supply chain shortages going on. The hotspots are, months and months and months in the arrears, in some cases 6 to 12 months to be able to order them direct from the manufacturer. So there's a good amount of money to be had selling these things on eBay. And that was actually going on with some of the devices from a competing company. And so again, the two options: lease program or quote unquote free deployment with security deposit. So this allows us to get the hotspots faster, and it allows us to do it with the venture capital backing us, that they now have no qualms about giving us a blank check to do. And so what had essentially happened was, during the first 6 months, when they ran the $500 or $600 iHub purchase model to the beta version and to the early VIP members that were initially started the first 6 months in iHub, they were paying $500 or $600 to receive a hotspot. And despite paying that amount, there was still roughly 22% of those boxes that were shipped out, and they were never fully deployed and plugged in. And for the life of me, I can't understand why anybody would pay $600 to get a Helium hotspot and then never plug it in. But of the 10,000 that they sent out, a little over 2,000 of those devices to this day have never been provisioned or plugged in. And so that's bad enough, for a venture capital firm that is using investors' money to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, soon to be multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. And they have to worry about front loading all this money into getting these devices, and then 20% of the people not plugging them in so they can get a recovery of their investment. But to make matters worse, there was a similar company that had already started with the free model deployment, and over 50% of those units were never deployed and plugged in. And what happened was the company, obviously unsustainable, they absolutely went bankrupt. They're already bankrupted because literally more than half of the folks that received their devices wouldn't plug them in. And so the company couldn't recover the front loading of that investment that they were doing. And so when our venture capital group saw this, they realized that it was unsustainable unless people had skin in the game. You know, the analogy is when I was a kid, I never turned the light out when I left the room. Not that I didn't care about my parents having high energy bills, but I just didn't have skin in the game. And I didn't know, I didn't think about it. And then I became a parent, and it made sense why my dad was always telling me, go turn off the light, is because now I'm paying the bill. And I was telling my kids growing up, go turn off the lights. And so skin in the game is what predicates people not trying to make a quick buck and selling their unprovisioned, reprovisioned device on eBay, or not plugging them in and letting them sit in a box somewhere because it arrives and they can't seem to find the time in their schedules to plug that device in. It also gives us an absolute blank check moving forward with the venture capital group that is financing our company. And so literally hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars have been already earmarked and for basically going out and getting devices that allowed iHub to go talk to the 5 different manufacturing companies of devices that exist today and get purchase orders, first right of refusal of anything coming out of manufacturing. Essentially, iHub is going to really corner the market, especially during this time of a chip shortage and supply chain issues. It's going to allow us to, with this blank check, really be able to get deployments for everyone, the hundreds of thousands of members that are already Hotspot reserved and waiting throughout the first initial months of 2022. And between January and June, every single person in the United States that has reserved a hotspot, that has a location that is provisionable, will receive a hotspot. And most of those will be in the initial stages of the year, which I'll show you in a second. So this is going to allow, for the benefit of us as well as the capital group, and the amount of funding that we now have available to move forward, do many things that are going to really position us to just dominate the network, if you will, in terms of what iHub is going to be able to do with provisioned miners relative to all the miners worldwide. And so very, very exciting. We had the opportunity to actually meet the capital group. They're known as Jord Capital and Cronus Capital, 2 venture capital groups. You can Google them. They had about 5 or 6 of the different representatives at the actual event that were answering questions and spoke briefly about what they've been doing, directly working with iHub and the capital that they bring to the table to negotiate purchase contracts with the 5 different manufacturers of the iHub hotspots. The other exciting thing about this is with the capital that's being backed with us now at iHub through Jord Capital, we now are negotiating with Helium to become our own manufacturer of devices, essentially cutting out that middleman, if you will. And at some point in the second half of 2022, iHub will actually be not only provisioning devices, but fully manufacturing them as well. And so very, very exciting what these guys have brought to the table and what they are going to allow us as a company to do moving forward. And so we get to choose a method here. This is the slide. We have the option of lock in with a lease or lock in with a deposit. So we've reserved our location, and that location can't be taken away from us right now when we went on the Helium Track software and put our address in. And now we can lock in on the deployment board with a deposit. And so that $99 application fee, once that is received, that now activates you in the system. And then it allows you to receive a voucher for the payment of a 5.8 or an 8 dBi antenna. That'll be included. The shipping and handling will not be included on the antenna, but it'll also be handle the activation and basically everything we need now to get up and running without having to go buy things after market, and assuring that we're essentially quadrupling the amount of helium that's coming out of our devices versus the stock antenna. So, and then of course, after the $99 application fee, then once your device is ready to ship in your particular deployment board month, at the moment of shipping is when you would start paying the $18 a month if you chose the lease option. What's exciting about this is, as when we're getting paid our helium, we could take a little bit of helium, $18 worth of helium each month, and pay our lease fee. So we're not coming out of pocket a nickel after our $99 application fee. And the $99 application fee covers a $100 antenna that we were going to need to buy anyway, and it covers the activation. So we're actually coming out even further ahead than we were before, and also allowing our members with the skin in the game concept to make sure they're plugging in their devices. And so that's option one. Option number two, with deposit method, you wouldn't send that deposit in until your device is ready to ship, at which point you would send it in. And then after the 36-month timetable, that deposit is refunded. So those are the two options that you have. This is the delivery schedule. So very, very exciting. In January of 22, the first 19,000 deployments will occur. Right now, today, they have, I believe, as of last night, about 1,000 of those 19,000 already reserved, already earmarked. And so there's plenty of time between now and next Thursday on the 18th to go in and reserve your January deployment with your $99 activation. And then of course in February they'll do 30,000, March 55,000, April 55,000, May and June 57,500. Everyone that has reserved a hotspot, these several hundred thousand within the U.S. that are provisionable, and I believe that total now is several hundred thousand. And worldwide it's 600,000 that are provisionable, but several hundred in the U.S. alone. They will all have their devices in the first and second quarter of next year, and we have secured purchase orders so that we won't run into any shortages with the manufacturing companies that we're partnering with and with the capital that we now have. So very, very exciting. And so again, the process is now open until November 18th to activate and deploy and be on the January deployment schedule. You can lock in Hotspot Deployment. What you do is you log into your new iHub Backoffice. You'll need to go to that email to get into the new Helium Track 2.0. And then when you log into that, you'll be able to click on step number 3 where it says getting started, lock in your Hotspot deployment. And guys, on the right here, you see an ROI graph. Now, this graph is just based on a monthly average hotspot of 11 HNT produced, which they're lowballing that quite a bit. I was talking to several of the members, the VIPs that were at the event. They were showing me on their phone what their hotspot's been doing. Some of them have had hotspots now for about a month to 2 months. And so they were able to show me what their production was. And, one particular gentleman, Mark McCullough, he just plugged his into his upstairs bedroom, put it in a window with the stock crappy antenna, and he was getting about 0.25 helium a day. And then I talked to a few others, John Cini in Texas, who put his on the roof and upgraded he put his device inside his house, but he upgraded the antenna that he ran through the roof there. And it's, we're still talking about a little thing, maybe about 6 or 8 inches tall, a single looking pointed device, but getting it elevated up to the rooftop with a higher DBI. And when he did that, they were getting anywhere from a half to a full helium or more than 1 helium a day. So it on average quadruples the output. But if we're going to be conservative and just use 11 helium per month at the current price of $50, we know we're not staying there. But just using those numbers, you can see there the on the graph, the blue line represents your production and value and profit with the helium, and then the gray line represents what you're basically outlaying on the lease option. And so right out of the gate, day one, we're essentially paying that $18 with our helium if you choose to, and there's no out of pocket other than activating with the $99. And again, we talked about the upgraded antenna and the activation fee that are now covered with that. So this is what it looks like when you get your deployment ID. The one on the left is mine, the one on the right is Tina's. And so we have locked in for our hotspots to be shipped out in January, and super excited about that. We have another one coming in December that we paid for the old model. And then, of course, we won on the raffle, so which we'll have up and running this weekend. So very, very excited. But this is what it looks like, the indication that you'll get from your Helium Track app once you have locked in, and it'll give you your actual ID. And then in a matter of weeks, that ID, you'll receive an email that they'll even tell you what the date of the shipping in January will be to receive that. So very, very exciting. So we're going to kind of wrap up just in the next few moments, guys, but just a couple more things I want to share with you. And super, super excited about the partnership with CoinZoom. So if you've been in the crypto space, you maybe already know who CoinZoom is. If you've heard the term Zoomy, it's kind of like Venmo or PayPal. That is CoinZoom. They've got a pro app version now that's a free download on your smartphone. They're coming out with just a more basic version as well that'll be tailored specifically for iHub in addition to the pro version. But we announced at the event a unique partnership with CoinZoom and iHub. iHub and Helium represents a massive account for CoinZoom. And so they are absolutely burning the candle to have CoinZoom available with full integration of the Helium token over the next few days. And this is going to allow us to do peer-to-peer transfers, Zoomy, quote unquote, free peer-to-peer transfer of crypto and USD, border-to-border transfer anywhere in the world, absolutely free. Guys, I pay $4.99 to Western Union funds to Mexico and Philippines at a minimum. So free person-to-person transfer instantly. We have e-commerce and click and order, as well as brick and mortar anywhere. Visa cards accepted. There's Bitcoin and 40 other additional cryptocurrencies, including in the next few days Helium that will be on our digital wallets. And it comes with we've got buy and sell Helium as a placeholder through CoinZoom. Spend the Helium. We could add the card, the Visa card, again, anywhere Visa is accepted worldwide. We're going to earn 5% APY on all purchases with the Helium card. And of course, it's got, you can see there, the bottom middle picture there is what the Visa card looks like. They are also have a direct deposit, so you could have direct deposit your check from work or any portion thereof that can go into the CoinZoom accounts. And guys, they are certified in all the states, all over the world. I think almost 200 countries that they operate in. But the really big exciting news on this is not only do you get 5% cash back on all your purchases, but we are going to earn 5% APY on our holdings. So I don't know how many of you on the call get 5% on your bank account or your checking account a year. Actually, I do know the answer to that. It'd be zero. But it probably takes 20 years to cumulative earn 5% on what's been sitting in your bank account. But we're going to have a digital bank and crypto account that all of our crypto holdings are going to earn 5% interest on annually just by sitting in our CoinZoom account. So that is absolutely super, super exciting. And the partnership that they announced with CoinZoom is going to go a long way towards allowing us to have a safe and secure way to hold our holdings, earn a little bit of interest while we're holding that, and to have a point of sale and e-commerce viability with direct liquidity, exchange crypto to crypto, crypto to fiat. You'll be able to take the crypto amount in your CoinZoom and exchange it to fiat and send it to your regular bank account if you want to. So it's just going to give us a direct access to really be able to plug and play and move money around and do what we need to do. And so then just kind of wrapping things up, and you mentioned, or you maybe saw on the video, that they are rolling out the marketplace next month in December. There will be a launch event tied around that. That will be Zoom remotely for all of us. But the marketplace will have additional products and things that will be available for those that want them. Again, it's optional. You could just continue to be a free member in iHub, and the membership is free and will be free. And you could just mine with a hotspot. You don't need to have any of these products if you don't want them, but they're going to be available to us just to kind of bring more value to what iHub offers us. And so you saw in the video, there's going to be a discounted travel portal we'll have access to. There is an education platform called Universal Tutor, or iTutor, and then there is a telemedicine group and platform that's launching for 24/7, 365 telehealth with board certified doctors, the actual MDs and specialists that you can talk to and have prescriptions and different health things. If you don't have insurance, it's great to have it. If you do have insurance, it works in addition to that. It just provides convenience to you. More details on that as that gets ready to come to fruition, and other things that'll be available as well. So I just want to wrap up with the last thing, guys, and then I'll take any questions. But the last thing was that they juiced up the comp plan for us. So I love this because that $99 activation now gives us the upgraded antenna that we were going to pay $75 to $100 for anyway after market, and it now covers the activation. So we got kind of a sweeter deal, but also with the old comp plan, we were going to be paid 15% for the first 90 days. And then if during those 90 days, you went out and got 5 affiliates referred, that bumped that 15% up to 25%. Well, they waived that. When they've got 1 million people that have already tried to get in this company just in such a short period of time, they realize they no longer need to incentivize enrollments. So they are now going to pay us the 25% as a host right out of the gate, day one when we're mining. So that's not after 90 days conditional on referring anybody. You don't have to share this with anybody if you don't want to. You could have your own device, and day one, you're earning 25% as a host, not 15%. So that was great. The coded networks are the Pro, Bronze, Silver, and Gold. They have the 20% at the Pro with the code match, and then they have the 25, 30, and 35% payouts at the Bronze, Silver, and Gold rankings. We won't get too much into the comp plan today, but we'll be doing trainings on this. But it suffices to say that by sharing this with a few individuals, the amount of helium that we can earn is just astronomical. And then, of course, the code match is really exciting. Within our first 5 members that we refer, we have a code match of up to 25% now that's paid out. So for example, if one of your 5 members named Bob, if he earned 100 HNT, he earned 100 helium from his team. And, whether it was people he directly referred or people who they referred, that there was the coding up. And again, we'll talk more about this later in a specific comp plan training, but just to kind of wrap your mind around the potential here. If Bob was one of your first 5 and he had 100 helium he earned in a given month, you receive a 25% code match. So in addition to what you're already being paid on Bob, you're getting an additional 25% code match. So you get 25 helium to 25% match the 100 that he earned. For those first 5 people, that 25% or up to 25% code match was enhanced into the comp plan as well. So Absolutely incredible. So last slide, guys, over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be rolling out, and I say we, I mean the company, new funnels for basically sharing with others through your websites about iHub, with brand new funnels rolling out. There are to date over 600,000 approved locations on the deployment board. And when and where and what month those will fall into, again, then depend on each of us when we decide to activate and move forward. And then the order of the country. So we are going to roll out the United States, and they announced then Canada, the UK, and Mexico. That's the order of the next 4 countries that are rolling out. And, I'll finish with this, guys. You could either make dust or you can eat dust. And so I am so excited where this company is going. They've got the track now kind of finalized and baked in as far as iHub's concerned, and they're moving forward with pioneering technology that is already fully baked in with what Helium is doing. Helium backed by hundreds of millions of dollars of venture capital, and now iHub 2 with a blank check to access hundreds of millions of dollars worth of capital from 2 different capital groups. And so, guys, I am telling you, that the sky is the limit, and we're just super, super excited about where we are. And so with that, I am going to stop the recording and let me jump out of that and then jump back in here and stop the recording. And I could take some questions possibly. So